Good Monday morning. It is Labor Day, and I am meteorologist Johnny Lively here to do our Labor Day forecast, which is sponsored by HB Neal Construction. As we slide over to the radar, which is sponsored by Dana Simmons, we can see we had some isolated showers from High Island to Sabine Pass, starting to see some develop over there towards Liberty County, but we expect that coverage to start picking up later on this afternoon, at least 40% coverage across the region. Looking at the satellite and radar, you can see lots of rain currently offshore, some of that currently just south of Dallas, but everything really is located currently offshore the region. But again, we expect that coverage to pick up later on this afternoon. On Saturday, all of that rain was located on the Texas and Louisiana border. On Sunday, all of that slid a little bit further to the west from Waco, College Station, down to Huntsville, Conroe, and notice Houston and parts of Chambers County got up to 4 to 5 inches of rain, and that came down fairly quickly, less than 2 hours. You get that type of rainfall totals that quick, this will cause for some isolated flooding. That's exactly what parts of Houston saw on Sunday. Here's the temperatures across the region currently, not across the region, across the United States, sponsored by Do Good Credit Union. You can see where it's cooler further to the north. Denver at 54, not too bad in Oklahoma City, currently at 70 degrees. And then here locally, we are a little bit warmer. Beaumont currently at 76, Houston at 77, down towards the coast. They are into the upper 70s, Galveston at 80 degrees. But a good portion of southwest Louisiana is into the mid 70s as well, too. If you want to get a little bit cooler, go further to the north. St. Augustine was actually just down at 68 degrees. They're currently at 70, but they were into the upper 60s earlier this morning. Here's our construction forecast sponsored by Neutron Electrical Services. Really good window of opportunity right now in the morning. It's once we get into the afternoon, that's when we start expecting that 40% coverage of the scattered showers and storms across the region. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind. You'll be ducking and dodging some of those showers and storms once we get into the afternoon hours. But a good window right now in the morning. Here's our upper level flow. We know we've got that boundary over our area today and a little bit of on Tuesday as well too. But notice as we get into late Tuesday, especially on Wednesday, look at all that. That is a decent flow coming from the north. That is a lot of dry air coming into the region Wednesday, Thursday, and even continuing into Friday as well too. So the nights and the mornings and here locally going to be really nice. I'm excited and go drink my coffee outside. I'll be feeling really good. But notice Saturday and Sunday, a lot of this starts kind of changing. We start having the flow coming back out of the south, southwest. A little bit more of the moisture starts coming back into our region. And we can see that thanks to our sponsor of Modern Concrete and Materials. We can see that we've got that boundary still pretty much over our area. High levels of moisture today and a little bit on Tuesday as well too. But once we get into Tuesday evening, finally, this boundary will finally push offshore, getting out of our region, opening the door for a good amount of dry air. Especially for this time of year, this is a lot of dry air coming into our region. Look at all that yellow and gold, whatever it is that you think it is. That is a lot of dry air coming into our region Thursday and Friday. Again, really good mornings and nights coming up. And then as we start getting into late Saturday and on Sunday, we start seeing the moisture content start increasing. And that means the rain will start increasing once we get into Sunday. But really, late Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, dry air coming into our region opens the door for no rain at all, rain-free. Then we get into Sunday. That's when we start seeing the moisture return. We can get at least 20 to 30% coverage. Here's our futurecast for today. We know we've got the showers and thunderstorms really located along the coast. Majority of it is currently offshore, but it's not until we start getting into the afternoon hours that's when we start seeing the 40% coverage in the afternoon. And we can still have some lingering rain here into the late evening hours, and even overnight we can still have some rain too. That's because the boundary's still over the region, helping develop some showers and storms. Tuesday morning, we're still expecting some coverage of rain along the I-10 corridor, along the coast, can still have some further to the north. But again, watch as we get into late Tuesday, clouds and the rain is starting to shift further south. That's because that boundary is shifting out of the area. So that opens the door for all of that dry air to push into our region late Tuesday. Really looking good Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and a good portion of Saturday as well too. You can really say that all across the region, we're expecting the temperatures to be very close to 90 degrees. You're going to see a good portion of the region to the upper 80s and a good portion into the low 90s as well too. But we can say that 90 degrees, that's pretty much what we're going to see from southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Up there further to the north, that's where you can get into the upper 60s. You'll definitely get a little bit cooler once you get in Wednesday and Thursday, but a good portion of the region is going to be into the mid to low 70s. Down towards the coast, you'll be a little bit warmer into the upper 60s. Watching the tropics, this is the only one that we're watching right now, and I just don't think this is going to get into the Caribbean, the Gulf, but we will keep an eye on it. This does have a chance to develop. You can see it on satellite imagery. It's got the showers, it's got the thunderstorms, it's got the convection, it's green, it's healthy right now, right? Once it goes a little bit further westward, it has to go through this trough. This has dry air. All of that orange and red is dry air, and it has some wind shear as well too. It will do good in the short term, but eventually it has to go through this. If it can bubble itself off, I would imagine this could become maybe a next hurricane as we get into next week. And as we look at the future cast, again, you can see it tries to develop in the short term. Once it gets a little bit down the road, might have a little bit of trouble with that dry air, but it looks like it's trying to really form a decent center. Could be a hurricane by middle of next week. We'll see. But again, the biggest thing that we're seeing is this is wanting to curve away from the Gulf and the Caribbean. Could be very similar path as Aaron. But again, we will keep watching this. Just doesn't look like a concern as of right now. Here's our 7-day forecast, Southeast Texas. We've got the rain today. That boundary starts pushing out on Tuesday afternoon into the evening time hours. Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, dry air coming into our region. Really, really nice forecast. And as we get into the late weekend, that's when we see the moisture kind of coming back. So Sunday, rain can return. Southwest Louisiana, the rain coverage is lower today and tomorrow, but it's not zero. And then we have that dry air coming in Wednesday, Thursday, all the way into Saturday. And then again, on Sunday, we start seeing the moisture coming back. And so that means the showers and thunderstorms can come back as well, too. So everybody have a wonderful Labor Day Monday. Thanks for tuning in to Gulf Coast Weather Solutions. We'll have more updates throughout the day, and I will see y'all again tomorrow morning.